Welcome to your new role, Minister Guilbeault.
We hear you care about the rights of Indigenous people, but we're concerned you may not have been properly briefed about the Ring of Fire.
Why else would you have recently signed off on a terms of reference that cut Indigenous peoples out of decision-making roles on their own lands? Let us help you.
Allow us to provide you with the Treaty People's briefing on what's been going on with the Ring of Fire before you got here.
You've probably heard that the so-called Ring of Fire is essential to our recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. But there's more to the story.
My name is Chris Moonias. I have been a permanent resident and a member of Neskantaga First Nation. I grew up here. I've been living in the community, and I've been a land user of this territory, Neskantaga First Nation's homelands. I've met with government officials, government bureaucrats, and to make sure that the First Nation, Neskantaga First Nation, is able to make informed decision in things we do, things that are happening in the community or around our homelands, such as the Ring of Fire, and to date that we have not able to reach that any decisions on whether to allow or not to allow the Ring of Fire. If the activities continue, that it infringes our decision-making process. And to date, we have not been able to meet the community due to the pandemic. We have not been able to bring other communities, proponent communities, into the community for our membership to listen to and ask questions. We have not been able to bring in government officials or other road proponents or mining proponents, exploration, to come into the community and ask questions and express our concerns. And also, we have not been able to meaningfully participate in those whatever discussions they are having, because of the fact that we are busy trying to keep COVID out of the community. And we're all hands on deck there. And it's frustrating getting notices every day that sometimes I don't even read the emails because, you don't have time for them. That's not a priority. The priority is the safety of our membership, to get them through this COVID, this pandemic that's happening in the world. In regards to the so-called Ring of Fire activities, the government has continued to push the road issues, the EA issues to the community, which we haven't been able to respond because of the fact that we are busy with multiple crises. We've had community members that passed away, and both on and off reserve. And we've had also other things happening in the community that require our attention and leadership's attention. So we have not been able to appropriately respond, or some of the things that's required by the government requires us to meet with our community membership as a whole. So during the pandemic, we haven't been able to do it because we can't guarantee a safe place right now. On February 1, 2022, we just hit 27 years of boil water advisory. That's something that we are not proud of. That's 17 years, and what does that say about the government? They want to build roads. They can't even get us clean water for our community. A lot of our membership are experiencing mental health issues, trauma issues, because they can't get basic right to clean water, and it frustrates me. It breaks my heart for me to always have to bring this up. It's almost every day I put it out there, out in social media, that just to remind people that it is frustrating, and for them to continue to push this so-called ring of fire, it's overwhelming. Most of us are already burnt out, and it is scary. And for them to continue to push that, we've asked them to pause it almost every time they send us a letter. Somebody responds from our staff responds and tells them to pause it, and continues to remind them of the what we are doing here in the community, in light of during the pandemic. I looked at other communities where there was mining in their territory. As a matter of fact, I just came from one where I took my holidays. They don't really get the full benefits what I think they should get. And even though they may have signed IBAs, we look at the ones in Victor Mine. I was recently there in that down river from us. Neskantaga didn't benefit, even though it was on our river. And look at Ottawa-Wabasket. They're still under boil water advisory. They're still having a homeless or housing crisis. And I believe, they're talking about you to prosper, But you see those happenings in like Musselwhite and Victor Mine, you don't actually see the benefits that we need to address our quality of life issues. I mean, they're still happening. I just came from one of them. There's 3 families living in that household that I just came from. How come they're not getting more houses? How come they're not benefiting that way? I mean, if they're going to allow things like mining and exploration happen in their territories, their homelands,
There are so many things to consider in making a huge decision like this. Let's start fresh in a better way. Please act now to stop the current regional assessment and instead allow Indigenous peoples to lead a process to determine the future of their homelands. In your own words, Indigenous peoples have been stewards of this planet since time immemorial. The fight against climate change is not possible without their knowledge and leadership. Any agreement on a path forward must protect the rights of Indigenous peoples, full stop. You said that. We want to take you at your word, Minister Guilbeault. Do the right thing.